Greetings, brothers and sisters. I'm here at this beautiful spot on the beach. I know it is loud, so I will do my best to speak from my chest, speak from my heart, so this transmission is clear. So what's coming through right now is, first of all, thanks and praises to that divine I am presence, that Christ, the God within, that mighty power which sustains all that which I am. We are so grateful for this existence, for this moment. I exist. I am. This I know this for sure, beyond a doubt, that I am aware in this now that I am. I am aware that I'm aware. What is it that is aware that I am? So, deeper questions for our hearts, for our contemplation today. You hear the talk about the mighty I am. I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am the resurrection and the life. I and my Father are one. The words of Christ. I am that I am, spoken in the Old Testament. The God speaking to Moses from the burning bush, I am that I am. To the question, who are you? And then we have the non-dual teachings of the I am. Sri Ramana Nisargadatta Maharaj, I am that. What is that? And who am I? Who is the I that is anything? It's very, very interesting when we start to inquire into our minds in this way. When we start to truly scrutinize to find out who we actually are. So I'll break it down for you like this. We, as this I, as this awareness, as this being, we come into the world essentially clean and pure. There's no personality there. And gradually we accumulate this ego persona. All of it based upon the thought that I am the body. As soon as the identification with the body is created, that I am in fact this body, this person. I'm this separate person in this body who has a mind, and now that is the root of all of it. Everything comes from the sense that you are this body, that you are a separate person. And then your whole persona is based off of that. Your whole persona is a product of that. Everything that you go through, everything you experience, all of your memories, all of that accumulates, is gathered up, bundled around the sense of I, and is associated with the sense of I. It's included in that sense of I, and that sense of I am the body. The idea that I am the body. So here is the proof that you are not any of these things that you think you are. You are not your persona, your personality, anything attached to that. You're not your opinions, you're not your thoughts, you're not your desires, you're not your attachments, you're not your beliefs. You're none of those things. How do I know this? It is because I am. It is because regardless of those things, I am. I've experienced not having a body, yet I still existed, I still was. In deep sleep, there is no body, there is no world, there is no mind, nothing. But you still are. You know that you still exist. In the dream, there is a new world, a new body, a new mind perhaps, but you know that it's still you, it's still I, somehow, even if it's a completely different person in a different world. You still somehow know that I had a dream. I was asleep. I am awake. So we're asking this question, who is the I? that is aware of these passing states? Who is the I that is present and aware of the fact that I am waking up in this body, in this world, that I am going to sleep and not experiencing anything, that I am going into a dream and experiencing a new world of my creation? Who is this I that is always here? Another powerful way to look at it is you look at, how do I know that it's me when I look in the mirror? When this body is always changing? How do I know it's me even when I ask to myself? Because I can look at a picture of me as a little kid and I still know that that was me. I was there and I'm here now. But the body and the mind have completely changed. New body, new thoughts, different persona, different beliefs, different perspectives, different opinions, different experiences, all sorts of memories. But I still know that I existed then and I exist here now. In order for that to be the case, there would have to be something constant. There's something that hasn't changed that whole time. Consistently, I have been aware of the changes. I have been aware of the experience. Consistently, I am. I cannot sit here and speak to you without I am. In order for you to have any thoughts about anything in this world, there must first be the sense of I am. I exist. Therefore, I am speaking on this. To speak about another object, there has to be the subject-object relationship. So what is the deeper spiritual work showing us? What is it guiding us to? It's asking us to look beyond the I am the body identification and the I am the mind identification, and to see that what you are is quite obviously neither of those things, because you have been aware consistently through all of it. You know without a fact right now, you can feel that you exist. You can feel that you are aware right now. You know this for a fact. This cannot be debated. Nobody can debate this with anybody. In order for there to be an experience, one must be aware of it. Even the experience of unconsciousness or unawareness is occurring within awareness. I'm aware that I was unconscious. Even the experience of a void, as in a void of thought, void of content, void of experience, like deep sleep. Some people get caught in the void. That's a layer of this. The void, in order for you to experience the void, you would have to have awareness. In order to say that I was in the void, well, who am I that was in the void? Who am I that was aware that I was in the void? That's the real question. Who am I right now that is aware of this experience? Who am I that is aware of these thoughts? It always seems to be I. It's always I. Does I actually change? The persona, the body, the mind, the thoughts, perceptions, all these various things are changing constantly. They say change is the only constant. But I'll say in order for there to be change, there must be a witness to the change. And the witness is the true constant. So we can celebrate the fact that right now I am aware. I am aware that I am. I am aware that I exist. This is the goal. To be aware that you are aware. To be truly aware of your being. And they say the path and the goal are one and the same. So to be resting in the awareness of your being and knowing that everything is taken care of through that, eventually the mind, the persona, the personality which was at the front now fades to the back, and the presence of God, the presence of the divine, the I am that you are, rises to the forefront. It becomes louder, becomes more present, or you become more aware of it, of what you actually are. In every moment of our lives, we can feel into this. You don't have to be sitting on a mat to simply recognize right now that I exist, I am, and to attach nothing to that. Don't try and do something with it. Just know that I am. And with nothing attached to I am, it's so beautiful. Especially you're somewhere here. You know, if I look at this ocean and I start trying to describe it, oh, the ocean, it's so vast and it's so big and it's so powerful, and the waves are crashing and there's this beautiful bluish green color, and there's, you know, the sun is reflecting on the water. Like, I can say all these things, but does any of that describe what we're seeing here? What we're experiencing here? Does any of that describe truly what this is? I mean, the word ocean doesn't come close to describing what the ocean is. And then you could lay out all the scientific wordplay and poetry, and it's beautiful, but nothing matches the experience, man. Nothing matches the experience of just being here with it. And so likewise, nothing that you can say or do actually matches the experience of just being what you are. And to actually be what you are is to know what you are. They say, know thyself. It doesn't just mean studying the mind and its patterns. It means going beyond the mind and figuring out and realizing, recognizing who you are prior to, during, and after your thoughts. In order for thoughts to occur, there must be a silent backdrop in which they occur. It's like you can't have this screen, or you can't have images on a screen without a screen. You can't have the images playing here on this phone unless there was a blank screen behind it that's not moving. This screen is stationary. I'm moving on the screen. Okay? That is the world. That is the projection, the hologram that we call the world, which is really our own unique projection of our minds. This projection is appearing on the screen of consciousness, which is blank, which is pure, which is untouched by the images on the screen, right? I cannot affect the screen through the video. I can't harm your screen from here. Just with this analogy, right? The images on the screen don't really have to do with the screen itself, do they? And the screen doesn't really have to do with the images. And whatever the images are playing on the screen, it doesn't affect the screen. The screen is still a screen. The screen hasn't changed. The screen can still play really beautiful images. So to some degree, right, we are, maybe to the fullest degree, I suppose that's to be revealed, but we are at the minimum co-creators of our reality. And so our thoughts, our feelings, our words, our actions are creating our experience. So we can magnetize and attract and manifest really beautiful imagery on our screen, or we can feed into the distortion of truth and project some really horrifying images on our screen. Now, it's important to know that Regardless, the screen is unaffected. Regardless, your pure consciousness, the seed of your soul, who you truly are, that I am presence, which is beneath and within it all, and within which it all exists, that is never affected, that is never touched. That is the immovable. That is what you are. So you also don't have to worry if there are negative images on your screen. Rather, those are the moments where you really practice the grace and the compassion and the forgiveness, right? So you can actually heal these things, remove them from you, to magnetize yourself in some more positive experiences. But just know that there is always an aspect of you which is innocent and pure and untouchable by anything in this world. And that is the truest, realist aspect of what you are. Everything else comes and goes. That is the only part that remains, and that part is actually the whole. And the whole exists within that. And that is what I am. Now, we don't say this for more ego control. We don't say this to manipulate. We don't say this to appear superior. It is a gentle reminder that which we all seek is here with us. And it's actually the most intimate aspect of who you are, and it's the most obvious. You can't have an experience without first, I am. And the I am is God. It is God in action. So anything that you place after your I am is God in action. It's destined to come into fruition unless you requalify it. And you command what you actually are, what you are actually here to bring into manifestation in the world, which, if it is in alignment with God's will, with your true self, with the I am, it is constructive, it is uplifting, it is healing, it is benefiting the entire collective. It is not for a self-serving purpose. However, that does not mean that it does not bring you joy. Really serving others from the heart by expressing your heart and your unique talents and gifts and abilities that you are sent here with, that will bring you the most joy and most fulfillment and most peace and most happiness. Because you're not doing it for yourself, you're doing it for God. You're surrendering the fruits, as the Bhagavad Gita has said to do. Do your duties and surrender your fruits up to God. The joy is in the giving. The joy is in the positive action itself. And when you do the action from a place that is not expecting in return, that is not attached, that is simply participating out of devotion and love, it always pays off in ways that you can't expect. You are always provided for when you seek the kingdom of God first. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these will be provided unto you. So I am that I am. I am. Contemplate I am. Just turn your mind, your heart, your attention to I am. Contemplate I am. What does that really mean? And if you want to go a layer deeper, inquire into who am I? Who is this I that is? Who is the I that ammed? But really though, it should be the most interesting question. If you really sit on this and you really recognize that, like, whoa, hold on, I actually don't know who I am. I think I'm my mind and my body. I'm not these things, they're changing, but I'm aware of the change. I hope that you're very inspired and intrigued by this transmission, and you begin to look within yourself and ask the most important questions. Because when you know who you are, you know what you're here to do. And everything else becomes so much more clear. We're only lost because we've forgotten who we are. Truly, this I am is the same I am in all of us. And that's what, I want to spoil it, but that's what you find out. When you really contemplate the I am, you recognize everyone's saying I am. Everyone feels I am. I exist. First and foremost. So you recognize it is a shared consciousness that is expressing in these infinite, unique ways, and it's so beautiful. You just see everyone as this beautiful, unique expression. You know, there's really no such thing as ugly trees. So the same applies to people, anything. You can see the beauty in everything. The more you contemplate your being, the more you realize the interconnectedness of all of it. That your being is my being, our being is our being. We share it. So when I command with I am, I'm not just commanding from this personal, limited me, this persona. I'm commanding from the entire power of the creation. And when I command and when I speak with I am, with integrity and with love, which is the only way I recommend doing it, because otherwise it's going to backfire. The fail-safe mechanism of it all, you know, is that you can't use these for bad. And if you do, you know, you might gain worldly power and succeed, and it appears like, wow, this guy is so successful and he's so ruthless and, you know, taking advantage of people. Like, why is he so wealthy and successful, and I'm pure of heart and I don't have any money, I'm broke, you know. That's just like a narrative that you hear in the collective. And I just want to say that don't get fooled by appearances, because people who do that, who may appear to be rich on the surface, are not rich of heart, and they're not truly happy, and they're not truly satisfied, they're not truly fulfilled. They're seeking more. It's quite obvious when you look at these like really big billionaires today. They're like really looking for attention, and you know, not all of them, but just a few that come to mind. But man, I'll just say the real fulfillment is in the recognition of your true self, of the presence of God within you as the one unifying power, and allowing that power to act through you and guide you to perform its works and wonders and miracles here. And it's you know, it's true union, and it's where true happiness resides. It's not in the fleeting experiences. It's not in the worldly possessions. I'm not going to demonize those things. There's plenty of really amazing warriors and leaders out there who have money and have resources, and a lot of them who came from the dirt, you know, and found their way through, and you know, have these inspiring stories. And you know, that's the transition of the wealth into the hands of those who we want the wealth to be with, right? Because they're actually going to make the changes with that money, which is really just energy that you can direct somewhere to do something. So I digress. Those who seem to have succeeded through manipulation in this world, they have it coming for them karmically. any power that you take forcefully must be returned. When you take, you will be taken from. That is just the natural law of things. When you give, you are given in return, and it's often multiplied. So, just don't worry about the appearances. Recognize that all of it is God's perfection at play, God's dance, and you are, a part of that, and you're also the whole. And it's being able to remember that you are the whole, experiencing this form as a part of it, and that you're here to bring in that wisdom of the whole into the fragmentation to essentially bridge heaven onto earth and bring the distortion of truth back into truth, into wholeness and balance. So, that's kind of a short way of saying what our greater work here is. So just recognize, like, the true riches is in the heart, and it's in being present for your life. It's really truly being here, being with each breath, being with your heart, being with your presence that you are, with the fact that you exist, and experiencing the joy that comes with that. And your cup fills up and overflows, and you can give endlessly, essentially, to those in need. And man, that's what the masters did. And I aim to learn from the masters, from the great teachers who taught from the heart and taught from love. And man, that's what we're here for. So I suppose I could ramble on all these things. I don't want to call it ramble. I can channel and open this channel all day, but we're gonna wrap it up. The ocean is coming up, and I have to go across these rocks, not get smashed into them. So I exist, and I am so grateful in it. I hope the sound comes through clear on this. These waves have been coming up louder and louder, so we'll see. I'll check it out after. If you're interested in that deeper level of these teachings, of support from myself, of brotherhood, which is really the main focal point of what I'm offering on that deeper level at this time, at least. I do have a mentorship for men, which is called Man of the Heart, which is really an offering from my heart of these teachings and these experiences, which came into my life at a time of need and a time of necessity. Really, I had to learn to overcome my mind and trust in something beyond me. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to exist in the world. I really stepped away from the world into isolation when all this was happening, and it was an intense time. But man, I found the light in myself, in my own heart, and in my own presence. And these teachings, which have been with me for years, my option was to either regress or dive deeper into all of it. So I chose that red pill, and here we are. And I'm so grateful to be in the position to be teaching and mentoring men and working with brothers on this deep level of connection. So if you feel the resonance here, there's not a whole lot of promo going in to these videos. So if you're here, just trust that resonance, trust that frequency that guided you here. And man, I got so much more to share with y'all. I really do feel like this is just the beginning of our journey together. So thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in, hearing the message. Thank you for being what you are, being your unique frequency in the world, spreading your gifts and your love from your heart. Yeah, we need you. We need you being yourself. We need you being in your power and your joy and your love and your happiness. And just know that whenever you are, that you are serving God. You're serving the entire collective. You're uplifting the entire collective. And we thank you. We thank you for all that you are. I am.